Gruesome new horror flick starring a major Marvel star coming to Hulu tomorrow. A heroic Marvel actor has seized the opportunity to play a truly despicable villain in a new horror film that is certainly not for the faint of heart. Fresh is coming to Hulu tomorrow, and will without a doubt get your stomach churning in an astonishing journey of discovery punctuated by stellar performances from the Winter Soldier himself, Sebastian Stan, and normal people star Daisy Edgar-Jones. In this feature-length directorial debut from Mimi Cave, you'll go from feeling queasy to wetting yourself with laughter while following Noah, Edgar-Jones, try and navigate around the world of online dating before meeting a charismatic but mystifying man named Stan, who has an interesting taste in women. Gossip Girl and Marvel Studios alum Stan shows off a new dimension to his acting range, playing a beautifully constructed psychopath. Harkening back to the iconic Hannibal Lecter while maintaining the sympathetic bad boy facade from his time as Bucky Barnes leaves you strangely enthralled and almost charmed by him. You will be chomping at the bit to see more of his cruel sardonicisms and twisted affectations. The flick calls to mind such films as Delicatessen and even David Cronenberg's Videodrome, with many layers of weird underneath its seemingly straightforward premise, with promising potential for a cult following. Fresh debuted at Sundance in January, and picked up plaudits from both critics and audiences, sitting at 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. We Got This Cover's Martin Carr gave it a positive review, comparing it to that of American Psycho and writing guilty pleasures rarely come more deviant. Available to stream from tomorrow on Hulu in the United States, and on Disney Plus and Star Plus in the rest of the world. A hugely underrated psychological horror retreats up the Netflix ranks. The problem with the constant deluge of horror-tinged content that tends to arrive in theaters, on streaming or VOD on a weekly basis is that some great movies end up slipping through the cracks to go undiscovered for the longest time, but the underrated and overlooked The Lodge is finally experiencing a renaissance on Netflix. Co-written and directed by Veronica Franz and Severine Fiala, the chilling psychological story premiered in January 2019, but didn't score a limited theatrical release until the following February, resulting in a meager box office haul of just over $3 million. It deserved to find an infinitely larger audience, though, because the atmospheric tale boasts a series of top-notch performances, not to mention an interesting spin on a specific subgenre we've seen countless times before. Richard Armitage takes his family to their remote winter cabin for the holidays, but he's forced to leave for work shortly after, with Riley Keough's much younger new girlfriend left in charge of the kids. From there, a blizzard keeps them inside as a series of horrifying events come to life, which are directly connected to the woman's upbringing in an extremist cult. Contained and massively effective, The Lodge scored a strong 74% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's finding new life on Netflix as we speak. As per Flix Patrol, the haunting parable of Faith and Fresh Starts is on the cusp of cracking the global top 20, but you may need to watch it with the lights on if you decide to take the plunge. Bill Burr is writing a comedy called Old Dads starring Bobby Cannavale and Bokeem Woodbine. Bill Burr is no stranger to dad-related comedy material. Throughout his stand-up specials, his Netflix animated show F is for Family, and in the Judd Apatow movie The King of Staten Island, Burr continuously pulls hilarity from the subject. So it makes sense that Burr's next project, a film he's both writing and directing, is called Old Dads. Deadline is reporting that Burr will write, direct and headline the movie, starring alongside Bobby Cannavale, Boardwalk Empire, and Bokeem Woodbine, Fargo. The film will be made in cooperation with Burr's content creation studio, All Things Comedy. The movie's plot involves Burr as a middle-aged dad who, along with his best buds, sell their company and now have to figure out what to do next in a world that has left them behind. Burr wrote the script for the movie with Ben Tischler, and will produce it with Miramax CEO Bill Block, Dirty Grandpa, and Monica Levinson, Borat. I'm very excited to start shooting Old Dads, Burr said. This comedy is based on my own and my co-writer, Ben Tischler's, lives. Miramax has been awesome to work with and I think people are really going to like this movie. Block was extremely complimentary of Burr's talent and ability as a comedian, and said Miramax was excited about the get. Burr is one of the top comedic voices of his generation, and he has written a script that's not just unwaveringly funny, but also full of heart and unfiltered cultural commentary, Block said. We're thrilled to be collaborating with him and this fantastic cast, including Cannavale and Bokeem Woodbine. Production on Old Dads started on March 2nd, in Los Angeles. Robert Pattinson was thrilled the reaction to his Batman casting was only 70% negative. Robert Pattinson has had quite the glow-up from his days as a sparkly vampire in Twilight to now helming the role of another nocturnal creature as the title role in the Batman. Though Pattinson's wooden performance as Edward Cullen in the Twilight films has been mocked by many, and garnering a few Razzie nominations along the way, the actor has done much to take a battering to his preteen pin-up image, pairing up with a number of auteur directors over the years, roughly beginning with the decision to star in David Cronenberg's 2012 thriller, Cosmopolis. Since then, Pattinson has pretty much completely redeemed himself in the eyes of critics, making riveting portrayals in numerous films, such as the slimy protagonist in the Safdie brothers' 2017 crime drama Good Time, a mentally unstable 19th century laborer in Robert Eggers' 2019 horror film The Lighthouse, and portraying an absolute scene-stealing corrupt preacher opposite Tom Holland in the rural gothic film The Devil All the Time. All of that goodwill he courted with critics still did little to quell the expected fan backlash that accompanied Pattinson's casting announcement in 2019 for the role of the Dark Knight. However, Pattinson said that the negative reaction was somewhat less than he would have expected. "I was actually mocked less than I usually am," the actor said with a chuckle in an interview with the Los Angeles Times. "I was quite shocked. Only 70% negative. A+. In all fairness to Pattinson, almost every cinematic version of Batman and associated characters has experienced some kind of backlash when the actor was announced, including for Heath Ledger as Joker in what became a posthumous Oscar-winning turn in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight in 2008. Even Michael Keaton, whose performance as Bruce Wayne in 1989's Batman is now considered a classic, had fans petitioning against his casting in the days before the internet. The Batman swings into theaters March 4th. Okay, stay tuned to our channel. I'll be providing you with up-to-date reliable movie news. Enjoy!